Hi, everybody, and happy Friday. It's great to see you. I'm super excited to be here today. Last week, we talked about finding your purpose and what are some of the steps that I would suggest that you take if you really want to go down that path and discover it. And today, I want to talk about goal setting versus goal achieving and why I think the traditional way of thinking of SMART goals isn't so smart. And I know that some of you might not agree with me. However, let me explain because this has been life-changing for me. So SMART goals, or goal setting, actually is an intellectual process, and goal achieving is a lawful process. It's based on universal laws, and we talked last week about the law of attraction, the law of vibration. So with goal setting, since it's an intellectual process, oftentimes we've been taught to set goals that are SMART using that acronym. So they're specific, they're measurable, they are attainable, realistic, and timely, or there's a timeline associated with that. So I have no issues whatsoever with being specific and measurable. Where the rub is for me is attainable and realistic. So we as human beings have infinite potential. We're capable of so much more than we can even fathom. So we tend to hold ourselves back with limiting beliefs, what we believe we're capable of achieving. And we base those beliefs oftentimes on what we've done in the past. You know, our successes, our challenges, our degrees, our certifications. We're looking at what we've done in the past to determine what's capable or what we're capable of doing in the future. And I'm here to tell you, and this is a reminder from last week, you know, what we've done in the past has no bearing whatsoever on what we're capable of doing in the future. So I do have a bit of an issue with that word attainable in particular and realistic because we have infinite potential and we do hold ourselves back. If we set goals that we think are attainable, then we're really just setting goals that are based on our conscious awareness of our limiting beliefs and where we are right now. And when we set goals based on what we think we're capable of doing right now, those goals oftentimes will keep us stuck where we are. So I'll give you an example. You know, when we're setting goals that are attainable and realistic and they're keeping us stuck where we are, what often happens is we set goals that we've set before. So they become kind of that checklist item. We're setting the goal, we did it maybe last month, we're doing it again, we check it off the list and we feel good about ourselves. The next type of goal that people set are goals that they think they can do. So they're making incremental logical steps toward that next milestone or that next goal. They're calling that a goal, and but they know how to reach it. So there's no inspiration in that. There's no vision, no strategic vision in that. And I learned this the hard way. And it was after I started studying this material and I could reflect back that I realized what I was doing. And maybe you can identify with this. The good news is we can change it. But at one point in my life, I was setting goals and they looked really big from the outside looking in. And I looked like I was really successful. I was very goal oriented. That would have been something that somebody would have said to describe me. I was very goal oriented. So I would set big, what I thought were big goals, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And it just became too much. I had this insatiable urge and desire to keep achieving, and I was not fulfilled at all. In fact, I remember talking with a girlfriend of mine saying, crying, saying, you know, when's it going to be enough? When am I going to be enough? And so goal achieving in and of itself became a goal. So I didn't really have a strategic vision for my life. So I found that I kept chasing after goals. So I I felt good initially about achieving the goal, but I really had no joy after I achieved the goal because it wasn't tied to anything. It wasn't heart-centered. It was just a very analytical process. Oh, well, I reached this goal, so now I'm going to go to this milestone. So I don't want you to get caught up in that same trap that I was caught up in. When I started really looking at SMART goals in a different way, that's when I started to set goals that were really big. I was setting less of them, but the goal was so big and it just had a lot more meaning. And then, the milestones along the way, I truly feel joy when I reach those milestones. So that's the issue I have with SMART goals, with the attainable and realistic part of it. So let's talk about that's goal setting. We're going to talk about goal achieving now. Goal achieving is a lawful process. Again, the laws of the universe. So when you are setting goals that you're emotionally involved in, and you're in that vibrational harmony with that goal that you're wanting to achieve, that's when those people, those resources, that creativity, those ideas will just seem to flow to you. And that's how the law of attraction works, and through the law of vibration. And so when we're setting those really big goals, I don't want you to set goals that you've set before or goals that you know how to do. I want you to set a goal that is worthy of you, not a goal that you think you're worthy of based on your past experiences. So what does that mean? It means that you've got to start by allowing yourself to dream, allowing yourself to use your imagination, and just putting pen to paper and writing it down. Now, this is not an easy exercise. I don't want to make light of this. Some people, they might have ideas coming off the pen right away. For other people, it might take a few days for you to really start to allow the ideas to flow. But write your ideas down every day. Maybe take 5 or 10 minutes to visualize what you would love to be, do, or have, and take cues from listening to yourself when you're speaking to friends. If you hear yourself saying, wouldn't it be cool to go here with family and friends, or I've always wanted to do that. How do you do that? Those are clues that you're tapping into things that you're interested in. Write them down. Don't allow yourself to get hung up in the how. The how at this point is unimportant. So that's how you get tapped into the beginnings of setting a goal that's worthy of you, and not something that you think you're worthy of based on your past circumstances. So let's go back to SMART. So let's look at this in a different way. Specific, you want to use all of these dreams and all of these ideas to whittle down to 1 or 2 goals. So you want a specific goal, you want it to be measurable. Attainable, now that you understand that really anything is possible. If we have infinite potential, then truly, if you can imagine it, then it's attainable. So that really kind of opens it. It's wide open there. Realistic, I want you to erase it, put a big X through that, and I want you to write risk. And what I mean by risk is, does this goal stretch you? And I remember going through another personal development seminar, and a mentor, and Past Waters, if you're out there, she asked the question, set this goal that's so big. And she was telling us in a personal development seminar, if you set this goal that's really big, who do you get to become when you reach that goal? And I thought that was just such a beautiful question. I ask that all the time. I ask that of myself. So, for example, if I'm writing a book and it's not yet materialized, when I reach that goal, I get to become an author. I get to be more confident. Yes, in my mind, I want to create that vision of myself now, but it will have manifested into me actually becoming that author. So does that goal stretch and grow you? That's what goals are designed to do. Does it excite and scare you a little bit at the same time? Then you know you're on the right path. And then ask yourself, who do I get to become when I really see this goal through? Those are going to be clues and indications that you're on the right track. That's where you're going to find your inspiration. Is it going to be, rainbows and unicorns all the time when you're going through for your goal? No, of course not. You're going to hit challenges. But if you're really tied to a grander vision of what you want for yourself, then that's what's going to give you the oomph to get out of bed, get excited, and start working toward that goal each and every day. And so for the next week or so, write down ideas, things that you would love to be, do, or have, and then start to narrow it down to one or two things. And I love this quote. It's Dennis Waitley, I think, is the person who said it. It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. So don't get in your own way. Allow yourself to dream, commit, and pick one or two things that you would love to be, do, or have right now. And get in my free Facebook group if you want that support. If you go on to Stretch into Success in Facebook, you'll see at the top, join the group. It's free to join. We have some wonderful individuals in there, people starting businesses, and you'll have a great team of support there. So thanks again for listening, and I'll see you next week.
You love your life, but deep down, you know you haven't yet cracked the surface of what you're capable of doing and creating. You know you want more, but you just don't know what that is. You feel like something is missing. If this sounds like you, grab Laura Noel's 8 life-changing questions that successful people ask themselves to unlock their deepest dreams. It will help you expand your thinking and start shifting the way you approach life, work, and fulfillment. Go to stretchintosuccess.com/free gift to get your free copy today. It's time to get excited because your life is about to get a whole lot better. It's time to stretch into success.